Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and we are back with yet another Pro Football Focus rankings list. We are almost done with these. We only have a few more left, which is pretty good timing considering we are almost to training camp. But this one today is the top 32 defensive line units going into the upcoming 2021 season. We already looked at interior defensive linemen. That meant defensive ends and defensive tackles in a 3-4 defense, and then in a 4-3 defense, it meant just defensive tackles. And then also we looked at previously the top 32 edge rushers going into the upcoming 2021 season. That meant edge rushing outside linebackers in a 3-4 defense, and then defensive ends in a 4-3 defense. So with all that being said, this list in particular is taking all of that into account. It is taking the linemen and the outside linebackers in 3-4 defenses, and then it is taking just the entirety of the defensive line in 4-3 defenses. So you're getting your edge rushers in both 3-4 and 4-3s, and you're also getting your interior guys in 3-4 and 4-3s. With all that being explained, let's get into this. So at number 32, you have the Houston Texans. I think this one does go without saying. They got rid of J.J. Watt, and they've got a lot of young guys who do show a lot of promise, but they still have a ways to go. 31, the Atlanta Falcons. This one's tough because Grady Jarrett is amazing, and they do have some interesting pieces that could rebound, like in the case of Dante Fowler. But right now, I don't know. I might have put them a little bit higher than, say, 31, just because Grady Jarrett is an absolute beast. At number 30, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one's tough, too, because Josh Allen is a thing, and he's pretty darn good. Clavon Chasen is young. He's developing, and they also have Taven Bryan, who's developing still as well. Coming in number 29, the Seattle Seahawks. This one makes sense. They've really been struggling for a little while now to get consistency with their defensive line in particular. Besides Poona Ford, he's actually been pretty darn good. Number 29, the Miami Dolphins. This one's a little interesting. I would probably have them ranked higher considering, they did pretty good in terms of overall pass rush last year. But it is talking about blitz rate and things along those lines. I like Emmanuel Ogbah. I like how he's kind of had a bounce back with his time in Miami. And they've also got some other interesting pieces in there as well. Number 27, the Dallas Cowboys. Honestly, I'd probably put them lower. They have Lawrence, who's a beast. And they also have some other intriguing guys in there as well. But overall, I don't know. I think that they just don't really have the depth, say, some of these other teams might have. I'd put the Seahawks and the Cowboys down there. Raiders coming in at number 26. This one honestly does make a lot of sense to me. A lot of people were confused about the Clelin Ferrell pick. Max Crosby is an interesting guy. Actually, they do have some interesting pieces. Yannick Ngakoue, Clelin Ferrell, Max Crosby. Don't they still have, Carl Nassib? So, I don't know. We'll see how a lot of those guys pan out, but I don't know. Maybe 26 does feel right for the Raiders. 25, the Cincinnati Bengals. I might put them a little bit lower, but they do have DJ Reader. They do have Carl Lawson. Oh, they did sign Trey Hendrickson as well. Okay. 25 isn't too bad for them. They did add a couple of guys, and they are getting some guys back as well, which isn't bad. Number 24, the Detroit Lions. They have Michael Brockers. They have Trey Flowers, which are both pretty good pieces. And they also have some underrated guys as well. Levi Onwuzurike, I think, will be very good for them. I thought he could have been a guy for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it did not happen. Lions coming in at 24. Number 23, the Tennessee Titans. Bud Dupree. I was actually thinking about Bud Dupree last night in terms of just like, it's really cool that he had sustained an injury. He comes back from that injury and he still gets paid. I mean, shout out to Bud Dupree. That's awesome that he could still get his money in unfortunate circumstances. Titans coming in at number 23. Chiefs coming in at 22 with Chris Jones, which, Chris Jones is pretty good. Frank Clark is pretty good, I think, but overall, yeah, they just don't have a ton of depth there either. Baltimore Ravens coming in at number 21, Los Angeles Chargers coming in at number 20, Indianapolis Colts coming in at number 19. New York Giants coming in at 18. I might put them a little bit higher. Buffalo Bills coming in at number 17. Carolina Panthers coming in at number 16. Patriots at 15. Vikings at 14. Honestly, I think the Vikings should be ranked higher in my opinion. Packers at 13. Cardinals at 12. Cleveland Browns at 11. Broncos at 10. San Francisco 49ers at 9. New Orleans Saints at 8. At number 7, you have the New York Jets. That's a pretty good ranking for the Jets. I mean, Quinton Williams does some good work. John Franklin Myers does some good work as well. They have an underrated defensive line, in my opinion. They added Sheldon Rankins. They added Carl Lawson. Vinny Curry, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, by the way. I think they will be pretty good. Chicago Bears coming in at number 6. That's including Khalil Mack, by the way. Number 5, you have the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're in the top 5, by the way, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still on this list. So Pro Football Focus has them above the Jets, the Bears, the Eagles, the Saints coming in at number 8. So, I mean, Bucs are doing pretty good. Number 4, you have the Rams, who are coming in with Aaron Donald. A defensive line with Aaron Donald coming in at number 4. That's huge. And then you come in at number 3, and you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's read this paragraph real quick. General Manager Jason Light managed to bring back every starter from last year's championship team this offseason. Of course, we all know this. That includes key players along the defensive front in Shaq, Barrett, and Ndamukong Suh. It was a unit that played both the run and pass at an elite level in 2020. So far, I agree. The Buccaneers ranked 5th in the NFL in team pressure rate, 37.1%, and 1st in rushing yards allowed before contact per attempt, 1. Those numbers could even improve with a healthy season from Vita Vea in 2021. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that. Now, I'm a little sad that they didn't mention, say, Jason Pierre-Paul. I think he was also very instrumental to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success last year, so I wish they would have given him a little bit of a nod. Joe Tryon's joining this unit as well, and don't forget Will Golston. I mean, there's a couple of guys they could have mentioned. Of course, they can't mention absolutely every guy along that front 7 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or along the D-line and the edge rushers, but overall, I don't disagree with really anything of what they said. Yeah, the Buccaneers were pretty much one of the top, elite teams in terms of run defense and pass rush last year. We saw that time and time again, especially in the Super Bowl. Of course, we all know that. But of course, the point of Vita Vea coming back healthy, that's going to be huge. That is going to be astronomical in the overall success for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021, in my opinion. We saw it, right? As soon as Vita Vea left, yeah, they still were, one of the top teams, but there was that missing element without Vita Vea there. And then as soon as Vita Vea comes back, everybody just starts playing at ridiculous levels again. I mean, Vita Vea has that type of just ability, right? To wreck a game, to wreck a line, and be that force that just helps every single person around him play better. That's what Vita Vea does, which has led me again to say multiple times here on the channel that Vita Vea is one of those guys, like top 5 most impactful players on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team right now, and hopefully for the very long-term future. I mean, Vita Vea needs to be around for the next 10, 12 years, in my opinion. So 100% agree. When Vita Vea is fully healthy for 2021, it's going to be insane because Shaq Barrett just got a big deal. JPP, he's on the last year of his deal, but he has been great since he has come over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers via trade. Joe Tryon, the young guy, is going to be coming in and doing some work. Will Golston has been playing better the past couple of years with Vita Vea. Suh has revitalized his career with Vita Vea. It's going to be awesome, and you've got solid rotational guys like Raheem Nunez-Roche, like Steve McLendon, who they traded for last year, who he was a great veteran leader and was able to do some really good things, especially in that Super Bowl. Again, I'll say it again, Steve McLendon was underrated in that Super Bowl. Go back and watch that tape. And you've even got some backup defensive ends in there as well, like Sam Renner, Patrick O'Connor, and some of the other boys as well. There's a lot, and Khalil Davis. There's so many names I could mention for backup guys who could benefit from just being around all of these great starters, and it would never be enough. So overall, I'm super excited for this unit, both the outside pass rushing linebackers and the entirety of that defensive line. It's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing, and Vita Vea at the center of it, I think, is going to work wonders yet again. I think Shaq Barrett's going to get back into, elite form with double-digit sacks. I think Suh's just going to continue to be Suh, and it's going to be great. Coming in at number 2, we have the Washington football team. This one makes a lot of sense. I'm honestly surprised they're not at number 1 because their defense is filthy. I mean, you guys remember going into that playoff game, everybody was saying, dude, the Washington football team's defensive line, their pass rushers are insane. I completely agree. Jonathan Allen, he's a beast. Daron Payne, he's a beast. Montez Sweat, he's a beast as well. And then Chase Young, yeah, he's a young and up-and-comer, the defensive rookie of the year. So, all of those guys are just phenomenal. And then you have backups like Tim Settle and Matt Ioannidis? Ioannidis. Yeah, Matt Ioannidis and Tim Settle, who just provide that depth. I mean, they've got the pieces, man. The Washington football team's got the pieces. You've got a coach with Ron Rivera there as well, who works wonders with defenses, especially in terms of defensive lines and pass rushers. So those guys, that defensive line is going to be good for a while. So I'm not even close to disappointed that the Washington football team is above the Buccaneers here. And then at number 1, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, this one I'm not torn up about being above the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a lot of good guys. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and Tyson Alualu. Yeah, all those guys are very, very good. Some of the top in their respective position groups. So that's not, a knock, I think, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to have those two teams above them. I think that those guys both deserve to have those spots. Personally, I would probably still put the Washington football team at number 1. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 2, and then the Bucs at number 3 is how I would rank it. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think the Buccaneers should be higher up, or do you think the Steelers and the Washington football team deserve to be above them? And overall, guys, what do you think about this list? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you enjoyed this type of content, and leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.